Hello everyone, hope all doing good. In this video, we're going to talk about Azure Cube or Azure Analysis Service or Azure Tabular Cube. So whichever the current way you talk about it. So in the end, it's Azure Analysis Service, but in our project, for the simplicity, we call it Azure Cube. Okay, so throughout my Azure videos, I'm going to use the same terminology, Azure Cube. Okay, don't get confused at any point. So I'll keep using that Azure Cube. Okay, so far in our project, what we did, we migrated successfully from multidimensional cube to Azure Tabular Cube. So all of you know it. What is the multidimensional cube or MOLAP cube, right? So it's a purely on-premises based MOLAP cube. Presently, the MOLAP cube is not available in the Azure cloud environment. Right. So if anyone want to move from on-premises or virtual machine to platform as service, they need to come to the Azure Tabular Cube and go forward. Azure Tabular Cube will be the permanent solution from the Microsoft. I'm not sure whether the Microsoft is going to stop supporting the multidimensional cube or not, but potentially there is some threat that we foresee. That's the reason in our project we migrated entire our financial cubes from multidimensional cube to Azure Tabular Cube. So in my project, we use the Azure runbooks where we take the support from the PowerShell scripting to process the cube, and still our SQL database, the backend database, still it's in on-premises base. We created the gateway between the Azure cube and connect to the SQL database to refresh the tabular cube. Right. So, but yeah, we have planned to move our backend database from on-premises to Azure cloud-based SQL database. That's our phase 2 development. And then we use the Snap Logic environment to schedule and run these runbooks, right, based on the schedule. And as soon as the runbook execution completes, it sends an email communication to the all business users. For that, we use the Snap Logic, right? So the video. So the end goal of this video is how to migrate on-premises MDX cube. Sorry, it's MDX cube or MOLAP cube, not MOLAP. I'm sorry. So on-premises tabular cube to Azure cloud. Okay. So I have a cube which is in my local. Right, so local I have the instance called Tabular Cube instance. Under that I have the Adventure Sample Work database. The OLAP, the Tabular Cube database is available. So what I do, I will migrate this Tabular Cube to the Azure cloud. That will be my first goal, right? And then later how to refresh these Tabular Cube once we move to the Azure cloud, right? How to connect to the on-premises SQL database, how we can refresh it, that I will cover it up. And then post that, we'll also move our SQL database from my local to Azure cloud. So probably this video is not going to be like a lengthy video. I will split it like multiple parts, but in today's video, the part 1 video, I'm going to cover these 3 topics. Maybe in part 2, I will cover the remaining topics. So as in, make sure that the video length is not going beyond the limits, like more than 30 minutes, right? That's my goal. Make sure that the video is all the time within 30 minutes. Based on that, I'll create a multiple parts. So make sure it's like we work like a project and migrate our on-premises based Tabular Cube to the cloud based. Okay. So in part 1, I'm going to cover 3 topics. One is the setting up subscription and the resource group, and then creating the Azure Analysis Service instance. Okay, let's get started with each topic. First one, we talk about the subscription, right? We'll quickly go back and see what is the subscription and try to understand. Okay, so subscription is basically where it will map your your billing details, your payment details, how to get paid after you use Azure services, right? Different services where you need to give how to your billing get paid. So that's the way the subscription you can have it. So you can have a number of subscriptions, right? But in my scenario, I have created subscriptions in my personal account. So here I'm using my personal account, right? I'm not using my corporate account. In my personal account, I already created one subscription. So you can see here, this is the pay as you go subscription. So here I provided my, my credit card details, and also I created this subscription for myself. And then after that, I have created one resource group. So definitely how this link works, you will have at least one subscription. Under the one subscription, you can create many resource group, right? And then under the resource group, you can have the different services. So that means under this resource group, you can run SQL database alone, or you can run only the analysis service or some other service. You can have many resource group under one subscription, but if at all you feel like in your enterprise architecture, there will be many subscriptions, and then it will be charged from their different organization based on their usage. Okay, so all these subscriptions get managed with management groups, right? So the management groups will take care by the admin folks. So since I'm using my personal account here, I have only one subscription, one resource group. I'll manage entire my videos using this resource group. Okay, so uh, to create a subscription, what you need to do, so you need to click on subscriptions, right? And then follow the next steps. What are the next steps? You can click on here, add, and then you can follow the instructions. It will ask your, first name and last name, and then your, if you're in India, so it will ask your PAN card details, personal account number details, and then it will ask your credit card details, and then it's a billing address, and then that's all. So once you shared all the details, and you will get your credit card authentication to your mobile. Once you approve it, so your subscription will get created within a few seconds. Okay, that's how the subscription works. Under the subscription, so you can create once subscription is created, then you can go to the resource group. Under the resource group, you can create many resource group. So for example, what I'll do, I will delete this resource group. Okay, so I have many tags. Okay, let me, instead of deleting this resource group, what I'll do, I'll create another one, create a new resource group. And then here, so you can choose your subscription model, right? Presently, the subscription I registered is only pay as you go. And here I can create test subscription. And then region by default, Microsoft recommend based on your location, it will suggest what is the nearest location. In my scenario, it's suggesting the West India. So in case if you want to choose another one, you can choose from here. Depends on your, the number of users that they will use these Azure resources, right? Based on that, you can create the region. You can choose the region. Once you choose the region, then you can put tags. So these tags will help you to identify whether this particular resource group belongs to the dev or test or production. You can give those values here. You can have a number of tags. For example, you can say environment is prod, and then you can say who's the owner. You can define owner is me, Kukla, and then you can add additional tags, so that these tags will help you, right? Whenever let's say I'll open another window. So how these tags will help. So here I have already resource group created, right? Now I don't know. So what is this resource group about it, right? So to know those details, you can see here tags. Okay, you can look at these tags and identify, okay, so this resource group is getting used for the dev environment. Okay, similarly, you can define like anything to identify which resource group needs to be used for which type of the operations. So that's the way the tags will help you. So once you created tags, then you can go to review, and you can choose all your parameters that are updated correctly. Once you are good, you can click on create. So once you do that, it will create the one of the resource group, and the resource group will get appear under the resource groups like this. Okay, so that's how you can create a resource group, right? And then once you're done with resource group, now I'm going to start creating the another step is called creating Azure Analysis Service instance. Let's get created the Azure Analysis Service instance. Okay, so presently I don't have any Azure Analysis Service instance created. Okay, so let's get into new instance get created. Okay, so to do that, you can click here if it is appearing here. Otherwise, you can go to on the left side these three dots, and then here you can find Azure Analysis Service. All these are favorites, but if you want to know that where exactly all services are available, you can click on all services. Right here, you can get all your analysis service. For example, I'm looking for Azure Analysis. Okay, right. So yeah, you can see here analysis service. This is the one I want to create. In case if you're going to use this service very frequently, you can you know click on this star button so that it will appear under your favorites. Okay, permanently. So now I'm going to hit creative Azure Analysis Service. Hit the create button on the card. So it started. Okay, so I got the details here. Now I need to fill the my server name. Okay, so I'm going to fill like uh, Dale Azure Cube. So it should be all lower cases, and you should not use any special character for the server name. For example, if I'm trying to use the capital letters here, Cube, so it will throw the error. Similarly, if you're trying to use underscore or any special hyphen, it will throw the error. So the expectation here is you should not use the uh, upper cases, I mean camel notation, right? Um, or you should not use the special characters. Okay. Now, if I want to type, all capital letters, that is also not allowed. All you need to use lowercase. So Dave Azure Q. Okay, so this will be your server name, and then you need to choose your subscription. So in my scenario, pay as you go is my subscription, and then resource group you need to choose. So it should be the Azure Analysis Service should be running on which service group you need to mention that. In my scenario, I have created already the RG Playground West India Dev 01. I'll choose this, and then here also you can choose which location the most application users are there. You can choose that location. In my scenario, I don't change anything. I'll use West India is my application usage location, and then you can choose your pricing tiers here, the list of pricing tiers here. But if you're not sure which pricing tier you need to choose, you can click on here, right? And then there is a pop-up window will show on the right side, pop-up window card. Here you can choose based on your application size and based on your users. Okay, in my real time, my project, so I have two environments, dev and production. For dev instance, I'm using S0. I use always most of the time S0, but whenever I want to, during the UAT release and all, what I'll do, I will increase the my resources from S0 to S1, and then I'll open for the UAT. Once the UAT is completed, then again I will revert the tier from S1 to S0. That's how I'm managing, to save the cost of my dev environment. But in production, we use S1 all the time, but during the quarter closure, we use the S2 so that because the quarter closure, with most of the users will try to refresh their Power BI reports or Excel-based reports. That's the reason we use S2 during the quarter closure. Otherwise, my production is always S1 tier. Okay, so you can see here when you choose the particular tier, pricing tier, you can get how many query processing units and what is the memory, the cache memory that you can have, and then you can see that whether the particular infrastructure is dedicated to you or not. If it is the developer one, it will be like a shared one. Okay, but in our scenario, I'm going to choose the D1. D1 will be my, pricing tier because I'm going to play with only AdventureWorks, right? So I'm going to use only developer tier. Okay, but in case if you're not sure how many hours you're going to run and what will be the cost, because the cost it's showing here is estimated cost on monthly basis, but if at all you want to know hourly based cost, you can click on here. There is a hyperlink, view the Azure pricing calculator. Click on that. When you click on it, it will take you through the separate pricing calculator. So here you can click on pricing calculator. When you click on it, there will be a lot of services you will have here under these services. You can choose which service cost you would like to know. You can select on left side tab and the service you can choose, and you can calculate the pricing calculation based on your need. Okay, so in my scenario, what I'll do, so I'll calculate hourly based what's going to be. So for that, I choose region West India, and here I choose, I think it's already picked up the developer version, right? So if I'm going to use this particular one instance for 10 hours, they're going to charge $1.32. Okay, so you can see here the per hour rate. Based on that, they're going to charge it. Okay, and then that's it. So this is how you can, save these pricing cost, and you can do you can change different tiers, and you can calculate how many hours you required and what will be the cost. That's how you can arrive to the cost. Now coming back to our scenario, so I'm going to choose D1, right? D1 will be my pricing tier, so I'll choose D1. Let me see any other dev environment. Okay, all pricing available. Okay, looks like only $1 per edition. Sorry, developer pricing tier. I'm going to choose that. Administrator. So let's see. So I don't have any administrator, but let me see here. If I click on select tab, who and all administrators. So for now, I'm the administrator because I'm using my personal account. Right. If at all any additional users I want to add it, I can go ahead and search their email address here and then select them and make them as a admins. So I'm choosing this. And then so I'm the administrator. Backup storage settings, if you want like any backup storage setting, you can configure it, so you can get these details here. If you have any storage account separately for the backups and all, you can map it. Maybe we'll talk about these backup settings later, the configuration settings, but for now I'm leaving these configuration settings. Storage key expiration, so never, right? And then I'm good with my settings. Now I'm going to hit create. So now it's validating all my inputs. Probably first time, right? It will take a little time to create the resources. So you can see here, initializing the deployment. Okay, so deployment still in progress. And then deployment details. So we need to wait until the deployment completes. Okay, probably meanwhile, while it's happening, I will refresh here and see whether it's created or not. All right, so let me refresh this page and see. It's not created yet. Let me click here and see. Okay, perfect. Here it's created, but here it's showing still deployment is in progress. Let me refresh this button. Sometimes it will take a little while because it's need to be set it up all the resources and everything, right? For that it will take a little time. I think I'm good here, so I'll use this tab. Now my Azure Analysis Service created. I click on this Azure Analysis Service, right? And you can see here all your details at quick glance level, right? So you can see here what is your server name. This is your server name where you need to share with your business so that they will use this link to connect to the cube. Okay, and then you can see your subscription and your subscription ID and pricing tier. Okay, and then here also you can see other scaling options. Normally in enterprise environment, you will see different option, the pricing tier options, and then you can ramp up and ramp down your resources based on your need. Since I use the developer edition, it's this window is freezed. If I choose other standard or any premium tier pricing, then it will show me that. Now, so you can see all your activity log here. Right, what and all happened to this particular instance. All those details will get recorded here, and then access control. So if at all you want to manage with your controls, the access part, you can use this. Maybe we'll come to this part later in detailed way. Now, so our Azure Analysis Service created. Now the next part is we need to check whether we are able to connect or not, right? So for that, what we need to do, right? So you need to go to firewall settings, right? Usually, if you enable this firewall settings, probably you need to add your client IP addresses to make sure people get connected to your cloud more securely. But let's see, without enabling the firewall settings, whether I can connect. What happened? Something is wrong here. Right operation complete. Okay, the resource right operation failed to complete because it's reached terminal provision status failed. Click here details. Okay. Provisioning state. Okay. Some reasons it's failed to create the resource group. Okay. Now let me do redeploy. maybe I don't know whether since where it's deploying, I'm trying to use it here. Because of that, it's failed. What I'll do, I'll close and then redeploy again. Let's see what will happen. Manage. Okay, so let me select my resource group and then okay, but URI. Okay, next, let me see. Okay, required information is missing. Okay, it's asking the backup blob container, but I told I don't require it. Value must not be empty. Okay, what I'll do, let me see this way. Home, let me go to here. Let's see whether it's still working. Let me copy this and try to connect from here, my local. I'll paste it here, connect. Okay, it's not created. Okay. All right, let me delete and try to add it again. Delete. Dev Azure Q. Delete. All right, so finally the analysis service instance got created. I don't know what is the problem previously. So what I did after deletion of my Azure analysis service instance, I just recreated same thing, filling the same details, and it's got created. You can see here, and the deployment is completed. Okay, so now go to home page again and then click on here, right? So yeah, whatever the action that you performed within that window, you can click on this notification tab and you can see what are the steps that you applied. Okay, so all the events get captured here. Okay, now so this is my you know so Azure Analysis Service instance, right? And here, sorry, previously I thought it's for development environment, it's got freezed, but it's not. Since it's getting created in the background, this option is, grayed out. But now the deployment is successful. This pricing tier option is enabled now. At any point, now I'm in developer tier, and at any point, if I want to shift to any other, I can select and just select that particular service and hit resize. It takes a few minutes to resize it. Okay, but when you shift the tires, there will be the service will be stopped and get restarted. So during that time, all the users will face the disconnect. So anyway, I'm not going to change it because everything is getting paid from my pocket, right? So I stick to developer with 20 query processing units and 3 GB. Okay. Now coming to connectivity. Now let's test without touching the firewall settings whether I can able to connect this instance. Right. I go to here and paste it this link. Right, and then click connect. Let's see what will happen. Okay, it's not allowing me to connect. What I'll do, I will change this to intra password. Right, and then I'll use my account. Probably I'll choose remember password. Click connect. Uh, so this way also it's not allowing me to connect. Right, now I choose MFA. See what will happen. This way also it's not working. So that means unable to obtain authentication token using credentials provided. Okay, now probably I need to play with the firewall settings. Let's go to the firewall settings. All right, after doing some R&D, I found that so through SSMS, some settings are stopping to connect the Azure Analysis Service. But usually in our real-time scenario, in our real-time project, we use the MFA method to connect the you know Azure Analysis Service. Okay, but here I'm using, I tested through the Excel, right? In Excel, it's working fine. So I just put the server name and my username and password, click next. Of course, uh, since there are no databases here, it's throwing this warning, but it's not error. What we do, so we try to deploy the one sample cube to the Azure Analysis Service. Okay, so for now, I close this window. what I'm going to do here, sorry, I'll close this, and then what I'll do, I'll open, you know, Tabular editor. So we need to deploy the cube, right? What I'll do, let me open this Tabular editor. While it's opening, just I want to check what is the size of my Tabular cube in my local. Just let me check that. Oh, it's a very small 5.74 MB size. I'm good. So now first what I'll do using this Tabular editor, I will connect to my local cube first. Right, localhost, and then I use Windows Integrated Security login. Click OK. Right, under that, this is the cube I want to deploy. Select the second cube. Click OK. Once I deployed, so these are my, all my list of the tables in this cube. Now I'm going to deploy the cube to, Azure Cloud. Let's see it's going to success or not. Just click deploy, and then I paste my Azure Cube server name. Right, again, this server name you can find under the here. This is the server name I copied, and then go to here and then click username and password. I'll give my username. Click next. Application provided, okay. Administration is configured. Active Directory tenant administration. Okay, account. Username and password. Okay, now let me remove this. Let me try this way. Click next and see what will happen. Probably I'll get this MFA sign-in authentication. Select this. Okay, presently, yeah, it works with MFA, and then presently I don't have any, databases. So what I'll do, I will keep the same name, what I'm deploying, awdw underscore 2019. Click next, deploy. So fingers crossed, hopefully it will deploy without any errors. So it's deployed. Now we go and check here, and here we just refresh. Okay, so I don't see anything is appearing here. Oh, okay, perfect. So you got your cube got deployed from on-premises to Azure Cloud. All right. Now let's see whether we can connect from Excel. I know, so we just deployed, there is no data, but just we give it a try to connect and see what will happen. .com. So I don't want to fill password, click next. Hooray, so our cube is created. Just connect to the cube, click finish, and then click OK. Perfect. So our cube is created. I know, so we don't have a data, but just I want to check, right? There is no data. So what we need to do, we need to process the cube. Right, without processing the cube, so we don't get any data. So to process the cube, now we need to use the runbooks. And then also in between, we need to enable the on-premises gateway because my database is in my local and my cube in Azure Cloud. To refresh the data from my local to this particular model, I need to enable the on-premises gateway. That is the next step I need to do. And post that, I need to create a runbook to refresh the cube. So I will cover the topic in part 2. Right. So part 1 we completed this, and part 2 I'm going to cover how to enable the on-premises gateway, how to refresh the Azure Tabular Cube. Right, and post that we'll talk about the runbooks, PowerShell scripting and all. All right, so that's all for now in this video. I will connect with you guys in the next video. I think the length of this video is pretty high. Sorry for that, but yeah, I'll see you in the next video.